lost. So here is the tomb of Ramose, and Ramose was a vizier. It's one of the very remarkable tombs because of the historical background of the vizier who worked for two pharaohs, two different pharaohs, two different minds religiously, and two different kinds of arts. We changed from idealism to realism. He worked first with Amenhotep III for a long time, and then he worked for the son, Amenhotep IV. Amenhotep IV. He worked for both, and he was the vizier of both. In the time of Amenhotep III, the god Amun was very important. All the gods were very highly appreciated. Once and the vizier, or a part of this tomb, was finished when Amenhotep was the pharaoh. The part I'm talking about is this part, which was finished when Amenhotep III was a pharaoh and Ramose was working for him. After Amenhotep passed away, the vizier Ramose worked for Amenhotep IV, who ruled for 6 years. He was very okay, very normal, but after 6 years, he decided, being such brave, and he denied all the gods, and he called for one only god, the sun, and he called it Atum. And he changed his name from Amenhotep, which means the god Amun is satisfied, into Akhenaten, whom he belongs to Atum. His famous sentence was, "No god but Atum," which is the same like us, La ilaha illallah. He had no god but Atum. Atum was represented as a sun, which he recycled from the ancient Egyptian religion, Ra, but it helps the people with hands, so we can see the hands coming out of the sun with the key of life and the stick of stability. That's life, which is given by the sun, and he decided that his religion need no priests at all. He is the only link between the god Atum and the people, and maybe this is why priests were very angry and mad at him. He decided damaging everything, and he decided in art to damage the idea of a pharaoh being a god. The pharaoh is not a god. No god but Atum. And this is why for the first time the pharaoh started to appear looking after his kids, kissing his kids, sitting with his wife, and so on. That was not
shown before
at all with the king. The king is that perfect style, the ideal, and so on. That was the different shape of art which was done later. And that time a part of the tomb was finished according to this kind of art, realism, which is the other side. The third part of the tomb was not finished because after a while Akhenaten could not resist, and he was kicked out of the capital, which is Luxor, and he built his own capital or his own city. He called it Akhenaten, which means the horizon of the god Atum, and it's in Minya, which is about 500 kilometers to the north. It's still seen there. He built a city for himself and for his officials and so on. He stayed there. He had a son called Tutankhaten. But when Akhenaten died, and because he had no priests and his religion, or he was the only link between God and people, when he passed away, his religion died out. Tutankhaten came back to the city, to the capital, was looked after by the high priest. Tutankhaten changed his name to Tutankhamen, and they returned back to the religion of the grandfathers, and we started to come back to the capital, which was Thebes.
Correct.
Now I'm going to show you the 3 different stages. The first stage, which is this, which was done in the time of Amenhotep III, and then the stage which was done in in Akhenaten time, and we don't have to see the stage that over there because it was not finished. Let's have a look there to